Having good credit is so important when it comes to doing big things like buying a house, starting a new job, or taking on any other kind of debt. Having a great credit score can help lower your interest rate, which is going to save you money over time. But a common question that I get is, how can I actually increase my credit score? So today I'm excited to share with you a whole demo and interview that I have with SmartCredit. This is a really awesome all-in-one tool that can help you to learn more about the things that are increasing and decreasing your credit score, and really tangible ways for you to do things that will help you increase your credit score. And with SmartCredit, that is just the beginning. They have so many other awesome features that I am excited to share with you guys. But before we get into the interview I have with SmartCredit, I want to let you know down in the description box, you can check out the link for SmartCredit where you can get started for only $1. So check it out down there. Super easy and affordable to get started. My husband and I are currently in the process of buying a house, and we have built our credit over the last few years, which has enabled us to get the lowest of low interest rates, which is especially important in this current interest rate market because rates are high. So anything you can do to increase your credit score to therefore save you money on interest in the long term is so beneficial. And also a huge thanks to SmartCredit for sponsoring today's video. Jimena, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to learn more about you and SmartCredit. So first off, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at SmartCredit?
Sure. So it's actually really funny. I became a customer of the company before I became an employee. So back in 2013, I had some credit. Well, I had some credit troubles way before then, but my credit was really bad. And actually, my boyfriend at the time started working at Smart Credit, and he told me, "Hey, why don't you try this? It seems like it works for people. And you have terrible credit. What else? You have nothing to lose." So I was like, "All right, I'll try it." And by August, I was already at a 706, and I hadn't seen a 700 in years. So it works. And, I stayed in touch with the company. I never canceled my membership because even though I had good credit now, I wanted to protect it. And I'll share some more about that with you guys later. But yeah, I was a customer for a long time, and then I came to work for them right now, and I'm the VP of partnerships. I mainly deal with influencers and creators and some of our larger partnerships.
That's great. I love that you were a user of the product before you worked for them, because that really speaks to the value that you see in SmartCredit as well.
Exactly.
Awesome. So what makes SmartCredit different from the rest of your competition?
That's a great question. And it's better to show you than to explain it, because if I explain it, it sounds cool. But if you see it, then it's like, oh, wow, that is actually like pretty cool. And I've never seen that before. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And what I've done is I've logged into a test account. And so this person here, funny enough, that's the credit score I had when I joined. But this test account has a credit score of 639. And you can see here there's two ways to build up your score, right? The score boost and the score builder. The score boost is going to be the fastest way for you to build your score. It's using your credit utilization. And it's basically that's 30% of your overall credit grade. So if you see here, this test account owes 15,000 in credit card debt. So what I would do is I would just move the dial to whatever I can pay. And then based on that, down here, it's going to tell me how much to pay on each card, and more importantly, by which date. So you see here, pay by this date, because on this date, which is 4 days later, that institution is going to report to the bureaus. So we want to have your payment in before, that way when it updates, it has the lowest balance possible, and that's going to help your credit utilization ratio. And then what we've also done, which you won't see anywhere else, is we've calculated an average point increase if you follow that plan.
Hmm. I love that it has that feature so that you can actually see like what you're working towards.
Mhm.
How accurate are those predictions with the software?
I'm not going to say it's 100% because it's not, but it's pretty close. I would say it's about a 90%.
Wow, that's great.
And then also, if you plan on, making large purchases, you can kind of play with the dial here, and you could see, okay, this is the card where I have the most time to pay it back. But if I don't, this is how many points it's going to cost me.
Hmm.
So you can see it the other way as well.
Wow. I
That's
love that it's just really customizable to
Yeah.
however you want to work at building your credit. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy. We've seen people just up for that feature because it's the fastest one. When
Mm.
they come into the platform and they're like in a 600 or something like that, we've seen people go up like 50, 100 points in less than a month. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen to everybody or this is unique to your credit situation, but we've seen some crazy point increases in a very short period of time just with that one.
I love it. That's such an easy way to work at boosting your score.
Exactly. So the other way that you can work on your score is in the score builder. Now this deals with your payment history, and that's going to be anywhere between 35 to 40% of your grade, depending on the bureau. Now this one here, it's showing what's hurting your score. You can see these are 5 accounts that have late payments on or things like that. So most other companies would stop there and then they would give you some advice as to what you need to do, but you still have to do it yourself or you have to pay
Mm.
someone to do it. So with us, we're going to keep going and we call it taking an action.
Mm.
So you see here, I've got Citibank and I've been late for 90 days. That's why it's a negative account. Let's say I really was 90 days late. I could request a goodwill correction.
Mm.
Or depending on my reasons there, I can select it from the drop down menu. If not, I can type it in. And then when I hit next and I hit confirm instant delivery, we're going to send either a letter or a fax directly to Citibank on your behalf to request
Mm.
this goodwill removal.
It really makes it that easy to be able to reach out to your lenders. Yeah.
Yeah, and also if they approve it, then they notify all 3 bureaus. So when you take care of it at the source, it takes care of it for you everywhere else too.
Mm. I love that.
Yeah, and it's not just goodwill corrections. There's if you have a credit reporting error or identity theft, you can report it on here, and also even negotiate balances right through the system. So
Mm.
that's a lot of stuff.
For sure. How can we protect our credit while using the software?
So great question. Up you can look at it as like the top part of the software is really where you're going to build your score and track your score over time. And on the bottom is really where you're going to be able to protect it.
Mm.
So one of the things that we include with every account, and you have to go ahead and activate it, is $1 million of identity fraud insurance, covers you and your entire family that's within your household. So, for example, other companies out there are charging anywhere between $8 and $35 a month just for this feature alone. But with us, we're
Mm.
doing this. We're do it yourself basically. Credit tool at the top. A lot of companies are charging, upwards of $50 a month for this kind of stuff. And on top of that, we have a money tool to help you budget and also prevent or not prevent, but really be able to catch fraud as it happens if somebody takes your like credit card, for example.
Mm.
So let me show you that because this is pretty cool. So it's a very simple tool. What you can do is you can connect all your checking accounts, savings, investments, credit cards, loans. Not only can you get a really clear picture of your finances, it'll tell you when payments are due. So you'll get emails. That way you don't get late on your payments again, hopefully. And it's got some really cool reports about, your spending trends, where your money is going. But the feature that I think is the most valuable from this one is really going to be the alerts on your accounts. So I've connected all my credit cards, and in the alert settings, I always put mine at 0. And that
Mm.
way, for every credit card that I've got connected, it's going to manage all the transactions. And I'm going to get an email and a text every morning, text if I put in my number, but I'm going to get that every morning. And that way I can see if there's a transaction that I don't recognize, I know I'm being compromised and I can stop it as it's happening.
Mm. I love that extra feature to secure your credit and protect your identity.
Yeah, and a lot of people might say, well, my credit card does that for me already. Yeah, they do
Hmm.
to a point, but there have been times where it's been a really small amount, and my credit card company did not contact me, and somebody
Mm.
was charging things on my account, and I caught it because of this. So it
Mm.
works, but it works, I would say, 50% of the time, and it depends on the credit card company too. Like some are obviously better than others at that
Mm.
particular thing. And the last thing I'll show you, if I go to my score tracker and you see when I was tracking my score over time, here I started March 31st, 2013, 639, 706 by August. So what's that, like 5 months later? Um, and you can see here for the longest time, I was at the 740, 720 range. And the funny part so I really started working with the company more closely in the 2020. And once I figured out how the score boost worked, my score really shot up. And then you could see it, I hit like 780s, even 800. And the reason why was because I was paying my credit cards on the last day possible. And now I pay
Mm.
them before they report. So now my credit score jumped up. I applied for some loans, and that's why I'm back down a little bit, but that's okay.
That's awesome. Can you tell me what the difference is between the Smart Credit scores and your FICO score?
Yes, so the score that you see here is Vantage from TransUnion. And then the score that you're going to see here, these are also Vantage from all three bureaus. So, the FICO score is a different scoring model.
Mm.
Vantage score is usually going to be a little bit higher than
Mm.
a FICO score. But if a FICO is used to buy a house.
Mhm.
So if you're going to buy a house and you know you've got some things you could work on your credit, or you're just curious to see, well, can I build my credit up anymore? You can sign up here. It's $1 for the trial, and you can see if you have any points available. If you
Mhm.
do, anything that you do on your credit, whether you're looking at Advantage or a FICO, if you're getting rid of late payments, if you're paying down your credit cards, all these things that we're talking about, if you do that with a Vantage score, it's going to affect the FICO as well. So work on
Mm.
your credit through here, and then once you follow the plan, you've gotten as many points as you can, then you go ahead and you pull your FICO, and that way you're going in with your best foot forward when you buy a house.
For sure. I love that.
Yeah. Last thing I'm going to show you is the privacy master. Now this one's really cool. There's another way again to protect you. This is a super long
Mm.
way to answer your question. But
Sorry.
um, but basically you could see here that my information is being sold on a bunch of websites. And obviously I've had
Mm.
the account for a while. You could see I've been removed from 41 websites and I've got one pending. But I'm still found on more sites here. So I just click down here. I can see that that's me and I hit remove. Now it says next scan in 4 days. And the reason is we scan every 14 days because even though I just removed that website, I might show up back on that website months down the line, or there might be new sites that are selling my information. So we're constantly scanning every 2 weeks to see if your
Mm.
information has popped up anywhere else. And then we'll let you know. You come in here, you remove it, and that way you're staying more private. So random people don't show up at your door, or it's harder to steal your identity this way too.
Mm. I love that. I love how many features are incorporated with Smart Credit. It feels like it's like an all-in-one kind of software with all the different features here.
Yeah, exactly. Because the feature I just showed you guys here, the Privacy Master, there is one company where this is all they do. That's the entire
Mhm.
thing. And they're charging anywhere from $15 to $28 a month for that service. We haven't talked about pricing, but I mean,
Yeah.
with your link, it is $1 for 7 days. We don't have a trial on the homepage, so you do have to use Marissa's link.
Mhm.
And then it's $23.95 after that, cancel anytime. And
Mhm.
also your credit score is not going to be affected by
Mm.
checking it here because it's a soft pull.
Okay, that was my other question that I was
Oh,
wondering
okay.
about. Yeah, that's great to know.
Yeah, so
Good.
so that's everything in a nutshell.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to show us how Smart Credit works. And I feel like this would be a wonderful tool for anyone who's looking to increase their credit score or monitor their credit or even learn more about their credit and things that you can do to make a bigger impact on your overall credit score.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me.
I really love the SmartCredit tool because it's really an all-in-one software, and I love that it gives you really tangible and simple ways for you to increase your credit score and understand more of what makes up your overall credit score. So again, I will have the link down in the description box below to SmartCredit, where you can get started for only $1, and you can check them out there. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more money and budgeting content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
About to leave. I